Hello, my name is Dan Lotzoff, and today I'm going to be taking you through a couple of different demonstrations of our platform. And the first place we're going to start is with a virtual event example. So before we get into the virtual event itself, there are a number of different ways that you can access our virtual event platform. We offer our own registration platform that can be paid or not paid, where you can customize the user experience and the fields that you ask the audience to use from a registration standpoint. If you would like to, you can also leverage the third-party customer registration platforms like a marketing automation platform like Marketo and Eloqua, or you can use tools like Cvent and other registration platforms through our third-party API providers. Finally, you can also register via or log into the platform via SSO if it is an internal event. In this case, this was a public event that took place last year. I'm going to go ahead and log into it because I'm already registered and take you through the user journey. The first time the user logs into the platform, they will be presented with a welcome video. This video is usually 30 seconds to 90 seconds in length, welcoming people to the environment, explaining to them what to expect from the event and where to navigate during the live days. A couple other things you'll notice here. First, at the top is your toolbar. You can always click to go to any location within inside the environment from whatever page you are on. And then there are also clickable hotspots on the main page that you can use to navigate to different areas. Important to note, in our platform, there's a tremendous amount of flexibility and customization when it comes to branding. This happens to be a templated lobby that our customer has applied their style guide and their branding to. They wanted this obviously to look a little bit like Vegas, so you can see the Vegas strip in the window on the right-hand side. There are other call to actions like this main navigation here in the middle for the solution showcase, partner pavilion, roadmap and vision, etc. And then there are also banners here to highlight sponsorship, which we'll get to in a little bit. Now, the main area that most people are going to come into when they get started is going to be the general sessions area. In this area, you can view all of your content, all of your sessions. Number of different ways that you can display this. This one happens to look and feel like you are actually watching a stage, where I can see I have 2 different keynote sessions available. I can read what the sessions are about, who the speakers are. I can rate the sessions. And if I wanted to view a session, all I would have to do is click the watch button and it would launch me into the session using our very own studio platform for the broadcasting. The next area within inside this environment is going to be their exhibit halls. So here you can see an example of their solution showcase with booths on a show floor. Again, you've got that nice Vegas backdrop behind the scenes to bring a little bit of familiarity to the experience. In this event, there was also a networking lounge where people had the ability to come in and have a conversation with each other, where they're able to talk, chat, find people during the live day and connect in either a one-on-one format or in a group format. In this case, you're seeing on the screen the ability to chat one-on-one, in a group chat, but you could also click on an individual during the live day and start a one-on-one conversation with them, and that could be text-based or video-based. The next area in this environment was a space that was specific to them. They wanted to have a place where they could showcase certain award winners. So this is not your standard lobby, exhibit hall, lounge type of space. This was just a nice way to identify who some of their award winners were. If I clicked on any one of these, it would open up with a PDF about that company and the award that they specifically won. The next area inside here was the game center, where there was a little bit of edutainment and fun and prizes inside the event. A couple different things they activated for this event, the first being a leaderboard. So users could come in and win certain badges based upon activities they were doing inside the event, whether that be earning a badge for watching a keynote session, earning a badge for visiting a booth, earning a badge for asking a question, downloading materials. People genuinely like to compete to earn as many badges during an event for their spot on the leaderboard, which could be purely for fun, or it could be for the purposes of winning an award or a prize. In addition to that, you can have other types of games. So in this case, they had a trivia game where users would compete to try and answer questions as quickly as possible for their spot on the leaderboard on the right-hand side. And then lastly, they had a page for prizes, and this explained all the different prizes that you could win based upon different actions you were doing inside of the event. So this happens to be one example of an event that is in that 2.5D experience. Again, the background images can be anything you want. The spaces can be turned on or turned off, as well as the functionality that you've seen here. Now, the next example is our own very own sales kickoff environment. The nice part about this experience is it's now not your 2.5D experience. It's more of a 2D experience, or similar to a microsite. So again, I can come in here, standard things like a welcome video playing the first time I log in. But what this environment had was tiles for locations inside the environment. And then also you have your standard toolbar up at the top page. A couple things I want to point out in this environment that I really liked. One was in the Limelight. This was an area where there was a specific hashtag for this event. And then anytime somebody tweeted, posted on Facebook, social media, anything with that hashtag, in this case it was Intrado DM Sales 2021, those messages or those social posts are going to be aggregated in this one single location for people to view and get a feeling of what the buzz and excitement was that was going on in the event. All of this, again, is customizable. You don't have to have something like this in your event. We also leveraged in this event not only a theater of sessions. So again, you could see here were the sessions we had on our day 1, day 2, but you also had the ability to go to breakout sessions. So this would be more like what you're used to when you're attending a WebEx or a Zoom type of, or Microsoft Teams type of tool. We have the same type of functionality embedded within inside the platform. Or if you wanted to, you could always link out to one of those platforms as well. Those are a couple quick overviews of different virtual environments from the attendee experience. Now what I'd like to do is take you through what it looks like from a planner experience. So I'm going to navigate now to the back end. And so we're going to log in as an administrator in what we call a tenant. And so in this environment, I'm going to be presented with a couple of different experiences of how I can build my event. On the left-hand side, you will see I've got kind of a navigation here for different options that are used to be used for setting up your event. When you work with Intrado, there are 2 different ways that you can work with us. One is in a full service or managed service model, where our team will be assigned a project manager and event producer to build, set up, and configure your event. Or you can do it in a self-service manner where you're using this exact same tool to build and construct your event. Now, I won't be able to show you everything you can do on the setup side, but I do want to highlight the flexibility, ease of use, but also the level of customization that you can have in an event. So the first thing that you can do is you can see on the general settings page here, I can come in and select what dates this event is going to be open. And I might say I have different times that it's open for sponsors than it is for all the rest of the audience. I might also come down and say, I want to enable this event in different languages. So these are things that are done at kind of the show level in a general settings area. The next thing I can do is I can build those individual pages or spaces. So here you can see there are 44 different pages within inside this environment. Some of them you can see are mobile, and some of them you can see are for the computer. If I go into a specific space, so let's take the very first lobby experience, and I go in and edit that page, I will be given a builder tool to build out the lobby. So I can give it a title. Do I want this page to be active? Do I want it to be the main landing page just by checking a box? So if I check this, it'll be the first page that somebody lands on when they come into the environment. I can choose a background image, so I can choose from the Intrado library, or I can bring in any custom image that I want. So anything that my branding team designs for me. Once I bring it into the space, now I can have some fun with it and I can start to apply different hotspots for certain actions. So for example, you remember most of the examples I showed you earlier had a welcome video. So here you could load your welcome video in and you can place it anywhere within inside of the page. I could also put in display ads or banners. The banners can be rotating. They can be promoting sponsors. Very easy to quickly click, drag, and set up these individual spaces. If I carry on to the navigation page, here's my toolbar. I can choose what I want to call each of the different items in the toolbar. I can always match my colors to my specific style guide of my branding. And it's very easy to set up the navigation of the event itself. One other area that I think might be interesting is to take a look is the messaging. So during an event, yes, you do have an agenda. Yes, you do have a number of spaces where the audience or attendees can navigate to on their own. But in addition to that, you can push out messages to the audience. And there are a couple of different types of messages. You can push out an announcement. For example, keynote starting in 5 minutes. Click here to join. And that little message will pop open on every single person's screen. And they can simply click that and go straight into the keynote. Or maybe I want to push out a marquee message at the bottom of the screen. And that'll scroll through and say, have you played the trivia game? Or have you visited our sponsor pavilion? Or have you collected all of your badges? All of these announcements and marquee messages can be set up here on the back end in advance of your event and scheduled for a specific point in time, or you can set them up on the fly. So, for example, if you notice you're not getting enough people to a booth, you could come in and key a new message up and send that out directly from within inside of your event. From an integration standpoint on the back end, this can all be set up by our team of experts, or you guys can set them up as well. We have a number of integrations that are standard, that are stock, that are already built into the platform. As I mentioned before, marketing automation platforms, CRM systems like Salesforce, Pardot as well. So we have integrations with social syndication tools, so you can simultaneously broadcast your stream out not only into the virtual environment, but also onto Twitter or onto Facebook as an example. We also have an integration for single sign-on for internal use cases, so like a SAML integration. We can link to various matchmaking tools, and other customers have done that as well. We have integrations to video conferencing solutions. I mentioned you could bring in Zoom, Microsoft Teams if you wanted to with inside your event. And then lastly, you could always link to anything that is URL based with inside the platform. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an experience of what it looks like from a planner perspective. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about from an exhibitor's point of view. So here I am now in the exhibit space, and I'm going to go into actually the partner pavilion for this one. From a design perspective, again, remember, they chose in this case to make them look more like business cards with just the logos. You could make them look like actual booths. If you go with more of the 2D design, you're probably going to make it look more like the company logo. And you can have as many booths as you can fit on the page. We certainly have some recommendations. Usually you're limited to about 15 to 20 on a page, but you could have as many exhibit halls as you want. We recently ran an event that had 1,800 exhibitors in a single event, and they had 500,000 visitors to their booth. So for all those out there that are concerned about, can you deliver a great, rich sponsor or exhibitor experience? The answer is absolutely yes. So let's go into this Atos booth as an example here. So the first time I come in, there will be a video or an image that will automatically show up for me. Usually this is something that the company provides as kind of an overview of their solution. Remember, everything in the booth side is actually set up by the sponsor or exhibitor themselves. So they will actually upload this video, their logo, and all of their content directly into our booth builder tool. In a booth, you can do a number of different interactive elements. So again, I can click to chat, have a conversation in a group format. I can come in here and have another different type of conversation. Again, this can be text-based or it can be a video conversation. You can schedule a specific breakout room. So think about at a traditional in-person conference, there's usually the back of the booth area where people can have meetings. You can do that in your virtual booth and have everybody on camera. You can leave a message, so you can post something, say, hey, I was really interested in this, would like somebody to follow up with me. You can provide additional content or access to materials, PDFs, links, Excel files, PowerPoint, any kind of asset you want to provide. And you can also post a survey or even videos in your booth as well. The whole concept here is trying to drive as much content consumption and interaction at the booth level. One of the questions we get, that's great, you drove people here and they clicked on a bunch of stuff. What did they actually do? Well, on the back end, one of the things we can do is we provide each one of the sponsors access to their very own data portal where they can see who came to their booth. They can get a transcript of the group chat. They can see what tabs on the right-hand side they actually clicked on. And they can even see which materials inside there people actually downloaded. Very, very useful from a lead gen standpoint or from a lead scoring perspective. To be able to drive kind of that high level engagement inside of your event and obviously pay off the sponsorship dollars and value. In addition, in my booth, I can always come in and see who is here, both from a staff and a guest standpoint. And again, during the live day, I can click on any one of these people and start a conversation with them on a one-on-one basis. The exhibitor themselves sees exactly the same screen with one slight variation in that they can actually also have a conversation with all of the people staffing the booth, just so that they don't bombard everybody as they're coming into the booth and tell them, hey, Tracy just joined. I'm going to take Tracy and I'll follow up with her and see if she's interested in anything else. So there is that one difference if you're an exhibitor on the back end. Now, when it comes to sponsorship, there is a lot more than just the booth area. It is important to remember that, for example, if I go back to the home page, you can see you can have signage on the home page. Special thanks to our partners, Atos, in the top right-hand corner here. You can have pre-roll during a session, before and afterwards, a little video clip or a bumper that promotes those sponsors. You can have other branding and signage throughout the environment. You can have videos. You can have the lounge being brought to you by a sponsor. So most of the time when we work with organizations, we're creating a sponsorship prospectus that includes all of these different elements. We've even seen people use badges where you can earn the ATOS badge, let's just say as an example, if you go to their booth and have a conversation with somebody. Again, trying to drive people not just to come and view content, but actually to engage and interact with it. So those are just a couple of different examples that I wanted to share with you guys here today. Hopefully, as you guys have seen, it is extremely flexible from both a design and customization standpoint, as well as the functionality, being able to turn it on or off. We would welcome the opportunity to give you a more in-depth demonstration, but hopefully that gave you a pretty good idea of what the Intrado digital media platform can provide. Thank you.